Hi, my name is Cathy McRae, and I'm a board member of the United Way of Southeast Louisiana and currently vice chair of the Women United Global Leadership Council.
Great. And I am Clarke Payne. I am the Chief Strategy Officer at the United Way of Southeast Louisiana. Tell us about a woman in history who inspired you.
There are many women throughout history that have been an inspiration to me, as well as many women that are alive today and doing amazing things. I'm really inspired by women who use their strengths and their talents and follow their passions to really break barriers and use their voices to change the world and bring along other women and people through mentoring and collaboration to join their journey. So while a lot of women fit this category, the one that I'd like to use as an example is very dear to us here in New Orleans, and that would be Ms. Leah Chase, the culinary queen of Creole cuisine. So a lot of people here in New Orleans and around the world have heard of Leah Chase through her many awards and recognition as this incredible chef. But to me, and if you look at her story, there's so much more. She was from very humble beginnings from a rural area outside of New Orleans, growing up on a family farm. And she had to move to the city to live with an aunt to go to high school in New Orleans because high schools where she lived were segregated and she didn't have any educational opportunities. And after high school, even though she studied art, when she got married, her husband's family had a poor boy and lottery shop in the neighborhood that they grew up, which is known as Treme. And she became very versed in the kitchen and brought her family's home cooking to the store, and it eventually evolved into Dookie Chase's, this incredible restaurant. But along the way, she looked at her community and saw what she needed. And as people know, the 1960s in the South was very segregated, the civil rights movement. Their restaurant, Dookie Chase's, became a place where community organizers could gather. And even though it was illegal to gather to talk about things like civil rights, voter registration, freedom riders, they did in an upstairs room in her restaurant, while she provided a lot of great food and comfort and connections. Through this, local and national leaders band together and were able to organize amazing things. Along the way, her and her husband also realized there were no Black-owned banks, so they cashed checks for a lot of their paychecks of a lot of their patrons because their community needed it. Also, in high school, she studied art, but due to segregation, she wasn't allowed to visit any art institutes here in the South till she was in her 50s. So she collected African American art and is also known for her art collection. So to me, what's very inspiring about her is she found a way, even though it wasn't easily accessible, to get her education, to follow her passion, to use her talents around cooking, to organize her community, to be a resource in her community, to support African American artists, and along the way, take what was known as comfort food and elevate it to world-renowned cuisine. So I think of one person starting out on a family farm and having so many impacts in so many different ways. You know, I don't know if she dreamed that she could have all those impacts, but it's just so inspiring that she followed her passion and her talents and just made the world an incredibly better place.
Leah Chase was definitely an amazing woman and leaves a tremendous legacy here in our community. So what issues are you advocating for today?
So if you look at what we do here at Way at Southeast Louisiana, we advocate for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. And while that sounds like a tall order, we do have what we call our Blueprint for Prosperity, which is a roadmap. And to tackle our mission of eradicating poverty in Southeast Louisiana, we look at issues that provide stability today, prosperity tomorrow, around vibrant communities and personal wellness. And then if we take that to our Women United group, one of the cornerstones that our group was founded on, that we're still very active today, is quality early childhood care and education. In fact, that is one of our cornerstone signature issues for Women United Global Leadership Council. And we believe that if every child has access to quality early childhood education and care, that will solve a lot of the issues plaguing our communities today, whether that be being able to read at your current grade level, whether that be dropping out of high school, trauma, juvenile violence. A lot of these issues that people bring up today, if you get back to quality early care and education, those issues can be solved. So that is something that we're advocating for today, and we're collaborating with a lot of community partners, businesses, and other organizations. And since it's Women's History Month, I do want to bring up that women have this innate ability to collaborate. They can look at any tables, any issues, and try to figure out how best to address those issues by bringing in others and tackling it together.
Well, thank you, Cathy, to you and so many of our other Women United members who fight tirelessly day in and day out for so many who need it throughout our community and globally as well. What is your wish for young girls who will be tomorrow's future leaders?
My wish to young girls is that know that everyone has a voice, know that everyone has unique talents, and that wherever your talents lie, whether they be in the arts, whether they be in community service, whether they be in science, no matter what you are, nurture your talents, nurture your strengths. Realize that your voice can really make an impact in the future. I mean, if you look back at women like Leah Chase, who, I wonder if as she was in the farms in rural Louisiana, did she realize that one day she would be feeding presidents and having pages and pages of awards, sitting on boards where when she was a child, she wasn't even allowed to be involved with those organizations because of segregations. So the world out there is filled with possibilities. And by taking your talents, your energy, your passions, you can truly make a difference, not only for yourself, your family, your community, but beyond.
Well, thank you, Cathy, so much. Again, we appreciate all you do and all that Women United do for our community.